Hey friends, welcome back to Stappystamper. My name is Terry Stapp and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator located in Central Texas. Today is day 2 of our March 2026 Sunday Stamp-Along using the Easter Joy Designer Series paper, the Reason to Celebrate stamps, and the Lazy Daisy embossing folder. If you want to take a look at those materials up close, I did show them at the introduction of our March series last week on the Sunday Stamp-Along. If you want to watch the first part of that video, I do go over all of those materials, but since I did it last time, I am not going to repeat myself and do it again today, but we're basically using those same materials, but creating another lovely card. So if you have the card kits, go ahead and get your card kit out. This is what our card will look like. Get your card out and let's go over the materials that you have in your card kit. This is kit number 2. If you don't have a card kit, don't worry, because I have everything labeled with sticky notes with the paper color and the cutting dimensions. If you would like to stamp along, once I finish going over the materials, you can pause the video and then stamp right along with us. Okay, here we go. Make sure everything's out of the envelope. Lovely. Our base card today, let me get my stuff. Let's see, base card. Here we go. Our base card today is thick basic white. It is cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and it is scored at 4.25. So just a regular card base, standard card base. Our matte color today is going to be Pretty in Pink. So I have one piece of Pretty in Pink that is cut at 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. I have another piece of Pretty in Pink that is cut at 2.5 by 5 3/8, and it is embossed with the Lazy Daisy embossing folder. Here is our designer series paper for Easter Joy. I chose the Easter egg pattern today. Just love it. I think it'll go perfectly with our card. It is cut at 2.5 by 5 3/8. We have a secondary matte color. I threw in some Shy Shamrock cut at 2 3/4 by 4. Once again, this is a great time to use up some of that 24 to 26 in colors. Those will be going away at the beginning of our new catalog in May, I believe. So if you have Pretty in Pink, you have Shy Shamrock, some of the other colors, there's something splash, Summer Splash maybe, but there's 5 colors in that series. And in this paper, you will find Pretty in Pink and Shy Shamrock. So if you have a stash of those, this is a great paper for you to use and get rid of some of your stash before we get some new colors. Okay, we have our basic white piece. It is cut at 5 1/4 by 4, and I wanted to add a little bit of fun. We just got our February 2026 paper pumpkin, and in that paper pumpkin kit, it was an Easter kit that kind of coordinated with all of this, and there are 2 Easter eggs in the stamp set that comes with the paper pumpkin. I just used it to stamp some Easter eggs at the top of this piece. This is going to go inside the card. And then I used my Stampin' Blends to color those Easter eggs in a fun way. Also in basic white, we have another piece that is 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. I did stamp it with the greeting, Happy Easter from Reason to Celebrate. And then once again, I used that grass stamp from the February 2026 paper pumpkin. Looks like this. And I just stamped it across the bottom in Shy Shamrock. The greeting here is Shy Shamrock for Easter, and the happy is in Balmy Blue. And then for my knickknacks, I have my Excellent Eggs dies. This was a set of dies from a few years ago, and it will cut out various sizes of Easter eggs. And then there are other dies, the little zigzag die, the scallop die. There's an arch die, kind of just a piece that'll go across and cut it, not in a straight line. And I just cut out the eggs in basic white and then cut a bunch of different pieces and sat down and started gluing things together to create some Easter eggs. So I have 2 of those. I have my Balmy Blue ribbon. It is a checked ribbon. Looks like this. And it's just labeled Balmy Blue. So I created a bow out of that. I have my party dots that I'll be using. And then I have 1 strip of Pretty in Pink and then a strip of the designer series paper, the Easter Joy DSP. I didn't include sizes on this because these are just kind of scrap pieces and it doesn't really matter. We're just going to glue it down at the bottom of the inside of our card to give it a little bit more of visual interest on the inside. So I didn't include a measurement. Just look at your scraps, and you need a larger scrap of the cardstock and then a slightly smaller scrap of the designer series paper, and those are going to get glued together and adorn the bottom of our card. Okay, those are our materials. If you want to craft along, go ahead and cut your paper and join me right back here. If you have a card kit, I'll be with you in just 1 second. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get started with the inside of our card. So I pulled my card base. I pulled my piece of Pretty in Pink that is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. I pulled the 5 1/4 by 4 piece of basic white that has the stamps on there, and then I pulled my 2 little pieces of scrap DSP and scrap cardstock. So we're going to take our basic white. I'm going to take off my sticky note, and I'm going to take these 2 pieces and I'll apply some, I'm going to use liquid glue adhesive and apply some of that right here. And take this little strip and stick it right on top. Just like that. I want that even border. Okay. Then I'm going to put a strip of glue. What I'm doing right now is I'm lining the bottom edge of this piece of paper up with one of the lines. It doesn't matter which line. I'm not looking to measure anything. I'm just looking to make sure that I have a reference that I can use to get my paper on straight. So I have it right down here, and then I'm going to take the next square up and run this across the bottom so that this side is in line with the next square up, and this side is in line with the next square up. So that's going to give me a nice even border down here at the bottom. It is a little bit long. They were scrap pieces, so I'm just going to take my snips and cut off the excess, and those can go in my little trash bin. And then this is ready to get glued to the Pretty in Pink. So I'm going to apply some adhesive to the back. Pull off the sticky note. And we will be leaving a small border around all 4 sides of the paper. And then I'll apply more adhesive here. And this is going to go inside of our card. I'm going to turn it upside down real quick so I can look at the edge here properly. That looks great. Okay, the inside of our card is all done. So let's go ahead and work on the outside of our card. You have some designer series paper and then a piece of cardstock. Both are cut at 2.5 by 5 3/8. I'm going to start with my designer series paper. Peel this off. Come on. Oh, these are very sticky for some reason. All right, a little bit more adhesive on the back of this. And then I'm going to turn this upside down once again. Uh-oh, I forgot to put the pin back in my liquid glue, didn't I? Hope it doesn't dry up on me. Do I want my, what I'm doing right now is looking to see which way I want it to go. I think that'll work. So I'm going to turn it upside down and put it right here. And then I'm going to adhere this piece that's been embossed with some dimensionals. So let me pull my dimensionals out and let's place some on the back here. I think I'm going to use 8. I'm going to run some across like this and then 2 in the middle. Just like that. Give those a good mush. Peel off the backs. Did I get them all? Looks like it. All right, and then this is just going to lay over. It's not going to go all the way, but I want that same border around the bottom and the side and the top. That looks good. It is on straight. Now the next piece you're going to need is your Shy Shamrock, 2 3/4 by 4, and your basic white, 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. Once again, I stamped my greeting from Reason to Celebrate, and then I stamped some little grass down at the bottom. Let's go ahead and put these 2 pieces together. And then this is going to go on the front of the card. Now this is up on dimensionals, so I want glue here and dimensionals here, so it will be nice and even. So I'm going to run 3 dimensionals on the back here, and then just slather probably some liquid glue on the back if it hasn't dried up, because I have misplaced my pin. Okay, and then I'm going to put glue. Oh, still good. Still got some glue in there. All right, let's peel off the back here. Be careful. And I'm going to lift it up. I want to get it even Steven. I'm going to start with my liquid glue. And then once I have it visually aligned, I'm going to push down on my dimensionals there. Beautiful. Now we're ready to decorate. So I have my Easter eggs. I'm going to pull those 2 out. One of them, the big one, is going to go right here, kind of in the grass, but I don't want to cover up Happy Easter. I don't want it hanging off. So kind of take a moment to get it aligned how you want it. I think it's going to look something like that. I don't need glue right here, but I do need glue all over here. Okay. I'm going to take it, see if I can get it placed back where I want it. Something like that. This one's going to get dimensionals, so it's going to go kind of the opposite way, and I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. So let me pull those back out. 1, 2, 3 should work. I don't really have to worry. Not much is going to hang over, so I shouldn't have to worry about placement of my dimensionals. And I'm just going to kind of lean this one over like that and give it a press down. And now I want my ribbon. So let me pull my ribbon out. That ribbon is going to go right underneath where it says Happy Easter. So I need some glue dots. Pull those back out. Those are too big. These will work. I'm going to turn it upside down so I can see what I'm doing. Take one there, one right there, and one right there. Glue dots go back. I'm going to pull off the backing for my glue dots. Maybe, yes. And then I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to pop it right down here underneath my greeting. And the last thing I need is some party dots. So I'm going to take my party dots and let's go ahead and do, I'm going to start with my big one, if I can peel it off of here. Okay, I'm going to put it right there. And then I'm going to take a small party dot and put it kind of off catty corner to that one. And then I have one more that I'm going to place. Maybe I want it to live right there. Where do I want my party dot? I can put it there. Maybe I think I want it right over here. There we go. That is our card put together for our second March Sunday Stamp Along using Easter Joy Designer Series paper, Reason to Celebrate stamps, and our Lazy Daisy embossing folder. Okay, join me back next Sunday. We're going to continue working on some Easter cards. Just to show you what we're going to be working on, I'm bringing back the cross card. You may have seen these were all the rage last year, maybe some years past. I do have some modifications to the measurements that I made. So I cannot take credit for the card, but I do want to share some different measurements for you. And then I created an inside, so it opens like a regular card that I didn't see any of the other ones have. So I'm going to share this one with you for our March Sunday Stamp Along next week. This will be card number 3. And until then, Stappy Stamping.